Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Morning, y'all. Ring that bell. Everybody gather. Good to see everyone. It's Thursday. Welcome to DBL. We're starting today with a number of lawsuits that are making headlines. Up first, a North Carolina woman is suing Google after her husband died when he drove off a collapsed bridge while following directions from Google Maps. Now, let's paint the story here. He was driving home from his 9-year-old daughter's birthday party on a dark and very rainy night. Her lawyers point to 2 screenshots showing the bridge location. Other map services clearly show a break in the bridge. Google has now responded, saying our goal is to provide accurate routing information in maps, and we are reviewing this lawsuit. Who's at fault? I want to make clear she is suing the landowners that perhaps should have put up a barrier of some kind. What do you think, Al? Do you think that this is smart?
I don't know the legalities of what if Google is expected to be 100% perfect. I'm not looking at the death of a father and a husband frivolously, like, oh, if he dies, he dies. I'm just saying. I try and look at things in terms of the benefit versus, the negative aspects of it. And everybody in here uses Google Maps for the most part. It's gotten to the point where, like, the idea of talking to a millennial about being lost means nothing to them. They are never lost. And so, like, are there going to be bad things? Could it lead you to a place that you get robbed? Yes. Should there be some updates? Yes, but I don't know if they're liable. Legally, if they are, I hope this woman gets what she deserves, but maybe there should have been lights there, a barricade.
Right, exactly.
Something. It looked pretty desolate.
And it's dark and raining. Jeff, just before you go, I want to let you know, in 2020, another person did suggest to Google Maps that they edit it. So an edit was brought up in 2020. The bridge collapsed in 2013, so that's about 10 years ago. Does that change your opinion, Jeff?
It's just hard when there's families involved to give an honest opinion, because you don't want to disparage anybody. But it's like, we're so reliant on these phones that we're not even looking at the road anymore. You know what I mean? Who was to blame when Pokemon kids were running into traffic because they were chasing Pokemons around, right? At some point, you have to have some discernment of like, hey, there's a river. I'm not going to drive into it because Google Maps told me to, and then sue Google on the flip side of that for $500 million. We don't know the amount, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot. Should there have been some barricades up there? Absolutely, of course. But we'll get to some more stories. And
I'll sue the bridge maker?
They're suing the land, which I think is going to definitely take over. And by the way, locals had to put up barriers after this man died, not the actual city, which is crazy to me. Next up, a woman in her 80s is suing a McDonald's in San Francisco over its hot coffee. So the suit alleges that an employee breached their duty of care after failing to secure the coffee cup lid that she ordered from the drive-thru. Okay, so she claims this caused her severe burning, scarring, and emotional distress, and more. The franchise owner responded saying, quote, my restaurants have strict food safety protocols in place, including training crew to ensure lids on hot beverages are secure. We are reviewing this new legal claim in detail. Now, I know this sounds familiar to you because it all brought it up for us. It's because there was a famous lawsuit, remember from the 90s, when a 79-year-old was awarded $2.7 million after being burned by hot coffee at McDonald's. I have gone into it. Al and I talked about it a lot. That was a lawsuit in which the coffee was so hot it burned the literal seatbelt into her body. It melted. So that was a different sort of lawsuit. But let's talk about this lawsuit, not putting the lid on correctly. Jeff, what do you think?
Again, I mean, have some discernment.
I kind of agree with you.
If you look at your cup and it's,
I kind of agree with you.
You're going to sue for $100 million. Like, I don't know the amount people are suing for, but because of these scumbag lawyers, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, they get involved and they're like, hey, this is McDonald's, this is Google, get after it, sue them for $1 billion. Even though you weren't going to make that much money at all in your life, let's put the pedal to the metal and make this about suing the corporation because they have extra money that they have to handle this stuff. So I don't like the free grab. If someone died, that's a different story. The lid on McDonald's, it's like, I think now they have to have their coffee at a certain temperature so it doesn't redo what happened. A lot of people made fun of that, but it's like, Sometimes accident happen, and that's your fault, not McDonald's.
I kind of agree with Jeff on that one. Al, do you agree, or are you taking the... Remember, who told you to put the bomb on? Remember on Seinfeld?
Yeah.
And they're like, sue the corporation.
Because they got rid of the mark.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's right. So what do you think about this?
I mean, I think I'm coming at this, Jeff, from just a legal standpoint. How do you prove that the employee didn't secure the lid?
There's cameras, I
or
assume.
the person that took it, you know, when you go to put it towards your mouth, maybe they
Kind of squeeze
dislodged
it or something, yeah.
Like, how do you prove when it became dislodged?
Very
I would
good
think
point.
would be the hard thing to do in court. But again, like, I mean, Jeff is saying he's nervous to say, take accountability. And I'm not saying if it was faulty, if it was cracked and it couldn't secure, we have a different conversation.
Right.
But at this point, I'm not sure how they proved that it was the employee that was at fault.
That's a great point. You look like a Southern lawyer.
I really
you
do.
Really,
I know I do.
Doesn't he? He's like, objection, Your Honor. Objection. I love it. Amazing. You look great. All right, speaking of coffee,
I love the follow-up. You look great. I
He
love
does.
the insults around
Yeah.
here. You could insult anyone you want. Be like, hey, I love you. I love you.
I mean, I
I can't stand your smell from a mile away, but hey, I love you. I love you.
You look good.
You look good, though.
Smell terrible.
You sure do. Speaking of coffee.
smell wonderful.
You do. You've always smelled very fresh. Speaking of coffee, Starbucks is facing a class action lawsuit. This one I can see. It's claiming that some of its refresher fruit drinks don't actually contain fruit. The suit lists a number of drinks, including the strawberry acai refresher, which the suit says doesn't actually contain any acai fruit. Starbucks called the allegations inaccurate and without merit. So here's the question. When you're buying these types of drinks, do you assume they actually contain the fruits listed? Yes.
No.
It's called strawberry acai drink. And they now say if you look in the print, sweet strawberry flavors accented by passion fruit and acai notes.
It says notes, though.
What is a note? Are you whispering it into the batch?
Yes, it's like a positive affirmation. I think a note clears you of that because they're not saying, Jeff, you want to come over for notes of steak? Like, no, you say come get some steak. Notes is a way, I feel like, legally to get out of it.
It might smell like steak, but you're not eating it.
It's got
maybe that's a note.
Just like scotch, you could have notes of
I'm
oak.
sure there
Right,
is
it does.
something within the like Starbucks parameter that
Totally.
they're like, could we say notes and get away with it?
Totally.
So I think they're going to be fine on this. I would sue them because these things are $150 a drink. My kids get two, and I'm like, can I get a black coffee and two of these stupid drinks? They're like $142. And then I end up working at the window to pay it off the next 3
I'll
hours.
just tell everybody, sorry to burst every adult's, but it's juicy juice for grown-ups. It's juicy juice. That's
Oh,
what
juicy. It's like high punch.
ju-
Is
yeah,
that what it's
it's
called? High punch.
High C?
High C.
High punch? Okay.
High punch. There we go.
Hawaiian punch.
Hawaiian
I see.
punch. High C. Coming
You
up.
can tell your parents didn't let
Yeah.
you drink that.
No, they did not let me drink that.
Seemed like a Sunny D girl.
Oh, Sunny D all the way. We got purple stuff. Anyway, coming up on DBL, imagine being picked up by a taxi with no one behind the wheel. Do self-driving cars belong on the roads? And our interview with Chef Carla Hall. She's telling us about her cookware that can inspire you to spend so much more time in the kitchen. Stick around.
Tied it to Olympians. Yeah, we're talking about Tang and
go away.
Wheaties
Can you go away?
and
Just
remember
other
there's that call
just
to
brands
the
that did a
dog
great
driving.
job of
Did you
associating
ever think you'd have
themselves
to come up and
with
go,
something, even
"The
though
dog
Wheaties
driving
had
the dog"?
nothing to do. You could even argue, if you're Nike, like our athletes perform better because our shoes are engineered to help them run faster, jump higher. But like Wheaties was just the worst. It was like they
Sugar.
took. There was no sugar on there.
It was no, it's just cardboard.
It was really just
Really.
cardboard.
I have to say something dropped today, and it's not my dignity. It is it today it dropped or yesterday?
Last night,
Oh,
yeah.
last night. His new album, comedy album,
Yes.
in Earnest. And I just want to let everyone know.
Oh.
Please stream on all platforms. I'm so proud of you. I will be
Thank
listening
you.
with Brooksy. Where did you perform this one?
I recorded that in Chicago at the Comedy Bar.
Chicago.
Yeah, I love that spot. I love that city to record. I recorded my hour special on Amazon at the Vic Theater in Chicago. So, yeah, I got to do one in my hometown of Cleveland.
I wish I could say at the Vic Theater. I recorded my 1 hour special.
Yeah, it was really good. That was the you'll know this, Chris. That was the year that the Cavs were playing the Bulls, And so I recorded my special, and they put me up at the Ritz, and the Cavs were just in the lobby. And I go, let's go, Cavs! It was like the best day of my life.
Jordan shot over Elo?
No, it was like
that
it
one?
was more like who was on those Bulls? It was like
Wait, what year?
Derek 2000.
Oh, it wasn't back then.
20,
You would've
Derek
been
Fisher, maybe?
Oh, that.
Lionel.
Yeah.
Messi?
Yeah.
Lionel Messi, maybe?
Lionel Messi. Can you name one Bull besides Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan?
I was going to maybe say Pippen. Yes, Steve Kerr.
There you go. Also former Cav.
And I
Former
saw there's
Arizona State standout.
I like Steve Kerr, but there's a new
Seems like a great guy.
I know all the Bulls players when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
Norm Van Lier, Jerry Sloan.
Welcome back. How would you feel if you pulled up next to a car to discover there was no one behind the wheel? Self-driving cars are illegal in places like San Francisco, but this new way of driving is bringing up concerns about safety because of possible computer errors. So people on the other side say self-driving cars can prevent drunk drivers and it can save lives. So check out this video, it's going viral, of a woman getting a ride in a self-driving taxi. She just hailed it and this came.
What you're about to see is a driverless taxi by Waymo picking me up with no one in the front.
Good morning, Sophia.
Good morning. That's right, it greeted me as I came into the car, and I greeted it back. So, putting on my belt because safety first. And then start the ride.
Safety first.
I would just start doing stuff in the car until it asked me to stop. I'm like, what could I do in here?
What would you do?
I don't know.
Do you feel, first of all, 1 to 10, how comfortable do you feel with this?
I'm uncomfortable for a different reason. Jeff, what about you?
I don't know. I like to chat. I'm still a chatter. I like to chat with people out of the country, you know what I mean? To get in there by yourself. Speak about lawsuits or talking about lawsuits like we just did.
Yeah.
I mean, how safe? I don't know. It just
Let me
Jeff,
let me
let's all
jump in
try
really
it.
quick because DBL Nation, we want to hear from you about this also. So sorry, that was my fault. Do self-driving cars belong on the streets? Go to dblvote.com, Let us know as we talk. Continue your conversation.
Can we change the tag board to do you want a self-driving car or Tory picking you up for Uber?
self-driver.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
But I mean, could you imagine Tori just driving? Like,
I'm right
fingers crossed.
here.
She's got a dream catcher, like just praying.
All right.
I'll just say this.
Where there are blankets in the back full of dog hair, and her car looks like a Matchbox car that kids had for years.
I'm right here.
We love you.
I love you too. And the problem is I sort
The
of...
follow-up. You could say whatever you want.
That
Just
I love
follow up
you.
with a compliment.
But to be honest with you, I kind of agree with you because of this will be the future, right? And how many years will this be the majority of Ubers and Lyfts? Give me an estimate. For real.
5?
5 to 10. Do you
Yeah.
think so? Just answer.
I mean, I mean, I've heard the idea that they were saying eventually, like Jeff, you would buy a car, almost like you would buy a place that you were never going to live in with your wife, and that would just drive around and be Uber for you all day, but you would take those profits.
But what happens when someone dies in there? That's all I'm saying. That company's going to be sued for as much as they're worth, and how is
a great call.
progression going to continue?
But-
if you just have lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, how do you get anywhere? The company's going to go under because of the lawsuits they're going to undertake. That's what I think.
Yeah, but you answered your own question before the break when we were talking about, you know, the pharmaceutical industry, and even if they put something out, they make enough money to offset what they have to pay out.
Yes.
I think that's what it'll be for Uber. I mean, I saw the other day, and I was shocked by this, an advertisement for an attorney that specializes in people that have been in shared ride accidents.
Oh, wow. So
that's all they do. And so there'll be attorneys and there will be lawsuits, but overall there will be just so much money flowing in because the automatic cars don't have to stop to use a bathroom. They don't feel sick.
The investment.
They don't have to stop
It's
to call
true.
their kid.
Let me jump
They're
in
just
here.
gonna
I want to end the segment very quickly. The tag board pet says no. 86% of you say no. It should not belong on the streets. Let me show you this very serious video of a self-driving car, I believe, with a special passenger inside.
There's nobody in there, man. Oh my God. Where are you going? Are you going to the vet? Oh my God. He's kind of cute.
Let's go to
We'll be
break
right-
on that.
We'll be right back.
Whether you love it or hate it, pumpkin spice season is here, and people are using the flavoring in all sorts of foods and drinks. But despite its popularity, some people are still confused about what actually goes into the pumpkin spice seasoning in a pumpkin spice latte. This person on Twitter claims there isn't any pumpkin in pumpkin spice. But is that true? Let's verify. We spoke to a spice expert, a licensed dietitian and nutritionist, and spice manufacturer McCormick & Company to get to the bottom of this.
There is no pumpkin in the spice, but it's a blend of different spices that historically were used with pumpkin in pumpkin pies or pumpkin puddings.
The blend usually contains 4 to 5 other spices you probably have in your cabinet: cinnamon, ginger, cloves, nutmeg, and allspice. Spice giant McCormick & Company first introduced a commercial pumpkin pie spice to the US in 1934. The goal was to flavor pumpkin pie all in one container, rather than bakers needing to get each individual spice. So we can verify, no, pumpkin spice does not contain any pumpkin. But despite the lack of pumpkin-y goodness in pumpkin spice, both Frisch and Andrew say it's still possible the latte drink that you order may in fact contain pumpkin these days. And as it turns out, we can verify that the PSL at Starbucks has both pumpkin spice seasoning, which does not contain pumpkin, and real pumpkin. It says so right here on the drink's ingredient list. With your Verify and my very own pumpkin spice latte, I'm Ariane Till. That's not bad. To receive daily fast facts to your phone, text Verify to 202-410-8808. And to sign up for our newsletter, visit verifythis.com.
Welcome back. When Carla Hall isn't judging our favorite holiday baking show, she's empowering home cooks with her new cookware line, Sweet Heritage. We caught up with her earlier to talk all about it. Take a look.
Please welcome to the show, Chef Carla Hall.
Yes. How are you all?
Great.
Oh, we're so great now that we see your beautiful face. We love when you come to us.
Likewise. And I love bearing gifts and smiles and joy. So thank you for having me.
And we love receiving. So let's talk about the name of your cookware. It's Sweet Heritage. So what part of your heritage are you the most proud of?
Honestly, I'm really proud of my Yoruba Nigerian side, West African, and I am trying to pull out the pieces of the African diaspora to teach people more about our history. And I don't have any random flowers on my cookware, and all the cookware you get this little book. But as you can see right here, these little flowers, those are okra flowers, and that's the motif on all of my line, and the colors, and they're bright and happy.
Beautiful.
This is fabulous.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. This cookware makes actually cleaning up afterwards much easier with how they're designed. Is this going to inspire us to spend more time in the kitchen? Because I know people are like, with the cleaning.
No, I hope so. So I designed my sheet pans and my breadwinner pans to go into the dishwasher. Everything can go in the dishwasher. Of course, you know that stoneware can go in the dishwasher, but can you really put your sheet pans in the dishwasher? With mine, you can, and I have tried to trash them, and I can still go back with a old cruddy little pan with baked on and wipe it out with a napkin or put it into the dishwasher. Boom!
Boom!
Problem solved with the dishwasher.
Boom. Can't wait. That's all you need.
Makes a big difference for me in the kitchen.
Now, I want to get to this because you recently returned from Africa, and I noticed that the food in Zimbabwe, this looked a lot like soul food. Did you notice a lot of similarities?
I did, and I wasn't expecting that. So with the greens, of course, we have collards, we have grits from the south, and they have what's called sudza. They had oxtails. I mean, it was amazing. Beans with corn, like a hominy, which is in my comfort food when I was living in New York, was making cornbread and like white beans. I saw all of that. And so it's really important to draw those ties to say it didn't start here in the States, and we can connect back to our heritage in other countries in Africa.
I love that. Okay, so we got to now pivot to you currently hosting Halloween Baking Championship. Now, the costumes are incredible. They are just as memorable as the treats. Do you have a say in what your costumes are going to be? Look at these costumes.
The costumes are amazing, and we're in makeup like 3-4 hours.
Wow.
So the theme of the show is already set, but I do have a say in how they are executed. I work very closely with the wardrobe stylist, with makeup, Jackie Megiddo, and then the executive producers. But how they're doing, like I'll say, okay, I wear glasses. I may take the arms off my glasses to make them like on a stick, right? Cool. Oh my God, and that is the alien.
Whoa.
That was a 4-hour job right there.
Dang. That's what I think my brain looks like. I'm just kidding. In your dreams. In my dreams, yes. I have that brain.
So you not only slay in the kitchen, but also in the eyewear game. You're that's your look, right? Yes. For years and years. How many pairs of glasses do you own?
I have 65 now. There was 70. I go through and I sort of clean out. I'm holding at 65. And look, I made sure that I had glasses to match all of my kitchenware because, I can.
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah. That is really cool. Our viewers are just like,
they're going crazy.
Now I'm hungry. I want to go eat. Look at those treats. Okay, Carla, thank you so much. Congratulations. DBL Nation, check out Carla's cookware line, Sweet Heritage, on sale now at QVC. And also be sure to check out her Halloween Baking Championship Mondays on the Food Network. Thank you again, Carla. So great to see you. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great energy.
The headline is bold, claiming children behave 800% worse in the presence of their mother. It says the reason is pheromones and cites a Dr. K.P. Leibowitz from the University of Washington's psychology department. The claim has gotten intense reaction from parents. But is it true? Let's verify. Our sources are the University of Washington Psychology Department, the Wayback Machine, an internet archive, and Samantha Speed, a licensed professional counselor who works with children. Speed says the claim, although it sounds good, is not true.
First of all, the researcher didn't exist. And second of all, the data was nowhere to be seen.
The University of Washington confirms that. In a statement to 11 Alive, the psychology department said, "We do not know the origin or author of the document. We do know there is no Dr. K.P. Leibowitz at the University of Washington in any of our current or historical databases." The satirical study has popped up in social media posts, websites, blogs, even a news site in Africa. All of them source this website, Mom News Daily. The website, based out of India, circles back to the fake study. Emails to the website creators have gone unanswered. Even though all the data is fake, Samantha says there is some truth to the claim.
Children often act out or behave in certain ways like this when they're around their primary caregivers, mainly because they feel a sense of safety and security.
She says it could be a dad, a grandparent, a nanny, or another caregiver, anyone with whom the child feels safe to show their emotions.
You're telling me this is really a good thing?
Yes.
So we can verify, no, children are not 800% worse when their moms are in the room, but they do tend to show their big feelings to the people they feel most comfortable. With your
Since 2022, people who were exposed to toxic water at Camp Leun from 1953 to 1987 can request financial relief under the Camp Leun Justice Act. You've probably seen law firm commercials like this one offering to help people affected get benefits.
At Morgan & Morgan, we're fighting for the families affected by this to try to get them the compensation they deserve.
Earlier this month, the Navy and Justice Department announced a way to speed up many compensation claims. This new elective option sets a payout framework for people based on medical conditions and length of exposure. If eligible, the recipient can choose to accept this or file a more comprehensive suit. Verify Viewer Bill wants to know if people actually need a lawyer to file a claim. So let's verify using these sources. According to the Camp Lejeune Justice Act, the U.S. Navy, and the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, we can confirm that you do not need a lawyer to file a claim. You can do it on your own. To file a claim or learn more, visit navy.mil/CLJA or scan this QR code on your screen. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Let's go shopping. Hey, Steph, what do you have for us today?
I am super excited to show off everything we've got for you guys today. It's so much fun. Let's check it out. Like this first thing we've got today, it is the 2-pack tough tested waterproof Bluetooth speakers.
Oh, cool.
So this deal comes with 2 speakers with cables, which means you can connect your phone or tablet with Bluetooth and play your favorite playlist for up to 12 hours.
Whoa.
So normally these are $40 each.
Oh, not bad.
We've got a 2-pack for $27.99. That's saving 65%.
Okay, I've really used my outdoor speakers, and as the weather's turning, I'm going to be grilling some more. Nice to have waterproof.
Now check out these. This is the Cuisinart Advantage
Whoa.
6-piece nautical ceramic coated knife set with sheath.
I'm obsessed.
It does not come with this holder. We're talking solely about these products here.
Got it.
Cuisinart Advantage professional quality stainless steel knives have cutting edge, non-stick coating that makes slicing so much easier. So normally this is $65.
Okay.
We've got it for just $19. That's saving 71%.
$19?
Yes.
Okay. If not, every single one of you should be purchasing this right now.
Up next today, we've got the Urban Expressions Theodora crossbody bag.
I love these.
And the Theodora bag combines style and functionality with beautiful vegan leather all over and 3 convenient pockets to store all of your items. Normally they're $80.
Okay, gimme.
Yeah, we've got them for $24.
Yeah.
That's saving 70%.
Wow, super cute.
And then last but definitely not least today, we've got the Comfort Zone HEPA Wi-Fi air purifier with 4 replacement filters.
Oh, nice.
It uses true HEPA technology and Wi-Fi control to reduce odor, remove allergens, and it traps dust that's out and about in your home. So normally this is $158.
Okay.
We've got it for $49.99, saving 68%.
Nice. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or just scan that QR code. It's right on screen. It's going to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Could not be easier. Thank you so much, Steph. Before we go, the first painting Bob Ross ever did on his TV show could be yours for only $10 million. Bob painted a walk in the woods on the very first episode of The Joy of Painting that aired on PBS for 11 years. A Minneapolis gallery has listed the painting for $9.8 million. Bob, who died in 1995, was known for painting landscapes, which usually included happy little trees, in 30 minutes on his show.
Yeah, that's people just buying happiness. He makes everybody happy.
He really does. So do we. We'll see you tomorrow.